And then I took a lot quality lighting solutions for some time now. The new HM65R. Welcome back, folks. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. We've been bringing you a lot of running shoe content so far this year. I really hope you've been enjoying it, guys. But we thought we'd switch it up a bit in today's video and bring you a running tech review. We were super excited at Run4Adventure to get contacted by head torch manufacturer Fenix and asked if we wanted to test and review their new exciting trail running head torch, the HM65R-T. Now, I've got to be honest, I've heard of the brand before, but I didn't really know a lot about their product range, and if I'm honest, I'm a massive fan of Petzl's Neo Plus, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to test and review another head torch on the channel. Then I took a look at all the information that Fenix had sent over for us to look at about the head torch they wanted us to test and review, and the more I read about it, the more interested I got. Fenix as a company have been making high quality lighting solutions for some time now, from bike lights to head torches to keychain lights, but also super powerful military grade handheld torches. They're also the exclusive headlamp sponsor for one of the biggest ultra marathons in the world, the Western States 100. So as you can imagine, they engineer some pretty impressive kit. They've been kind enough to send down one of their new HM65R-T head torches for us to test and review at the channel, which we really appreciate. They haven't said we've got to say nice things about it. They just want us to give an honest and an informative review, like we always do here at Run4Adventure. But first things first, let's run through some of the facts and figures that got me all excited about this new head torch from Fenix. The torch comes with this ultralight magnesium body weighing in at only 91 grams. You get this nice wide, very breathable sports headband with some nice high-vis detailing, and it also comes with this BOA adjustment system, which I've never seen on a head torch before, but makes it really simple to adjust on the move. The torch is fully rechargeable and it runs off a 18650 battery, which obviously comes with the head torch. But a feature that I always like about a rechargeable head torch, that it will run off standard batteries as well. So you can also power the head torch using two CR123A batteries, which is always a good feature when it comes to our rechargeable head torches. The torch comes with two lighting options. So you have the 1300 lumens spotlight mode, but you also get a 400 lumens floodlight as well. Now you can access each light individually using these easy to reach dual top buttons on the head torch, or you can activate the dual floodlight and spotlight mode, which will give you the max power of a very impressive 1500 lumens and a beam distance of 170 meters. The HM65R-T utilizes Luminous' SST40 white and Cree's XPG253 neutral white LEDs, which have an amazing lifespan of 50,000 hours. Each lighting feature on the head torch has three separate options. So the spotlight can be set at low at 130 lumens, mid at 400, or high at 1300, and the floodlight can be set at 8 lumens, 70 lumens, or 400 lumens. You've got a really easy to read battery indicator placed on top of the head torch so that you can keep track of your battery life, and it only takes 3 hours to get a full charge in the head torch. Another nice feature on the head torch is the electronic lockout. So if you hold down the two function buttons simultaneously for 3 seconds, it will lock off them buttons, so you can't accidentally turn the head torch on while you're transporting it. There's nothing worse than stuffing the head torch in your backpack, going to a race, getting to the nighttime section, pulling that head torch out and finding that the battery's flat because it's turned on in your pack. So a really handy feature to have on your head torch. Probably one of the most important elements of our head torches nowadays, especially if you're looking to buy a head torch for, say, ultra distance races where you could be running for a long winter night, is the amount of burn time you get on a single battery charge. And this this is where the HM65R-T really excels. On max power, so 1300 lumens, the battery will give you 4 hours burn time, which for the amount of light and power being put out is pretty good. But if you set the torch to medium on 400 lumens, which is still a very bright light and will clearly show you the trail ahead of you, you will get 12 hours of burn time. So that's enough to take you through a winter's night on one charge. So no mucking around charging or changing batteries. Over the years, I've learned that some of these head torch manufacturers can be very, shall we say, artistic when it comes to the figures that they give out on burn time and the lumens of their head torches. I actually saw a head torch advertised the other day on a running forum that was apparently 99,000 lumens. I mean, come on, really? And people were actually believing the advert. A 99,000 lumen head torch would probably blind every runner within a 1 mile radius. So we want to make sure that we give all the features on this head torch a thorough testing to see if the performance lives up to the figures given by Fenix. Without any long races taking place at the moment to test the burn time of this head torch, we thought we'd set up a little test at Run4Adventure. So we have our clock to time it. We also have 2 GoPros on standby set on time-lapse mode. We've got them plugged into a power pack and we have spare batteries on standby, so it should last the duration. We've got our head torch and we are going to set this to floodlight mode on 400 lumens. So in theory, if we go by the figures from Fenix, we should get 12 hours. Obviously that burn time can be affected by weather, whether it's super cold or super hot or even humidity, but we're inside, so it should be pretty good and we should get somewhere around them 12 hours. So let's get this head torch fired up. Let's get the cameras rolling and let's start this time lapse. So we're going to keep that time lapse running all the way through the review to see how the HM65R-T gets on. But we're going to break the review down into 3 sections. We're going to do comfort, build quality and performance. So let's start with comfort first. First thing to talk about when it comes to comfort is this nice wide sports strap on the head torch. I don't know whether you can see that, but you've got some nice little perforations in the head torch strap, which make it very, very breathable. You also get this really handy boa system for adjustment, which I think is a great idea, and I've never seen it on another head torch. If you know of any other head torches that use this boa system, let us know in the comments below. But very easy to adjust the torch on the move. So literally turn the clasp clockwise to tighten the torch, and then to release it, pull the clasp up, take the tension off of the band, push that back down to lock it in place, and it really is that simple. I tend to like a head torch that splits the light and the battery from the front and the back of your head. I've always used that type of light because I think it just distributes the weight a bit better, and they tend to be very comfortable over time and distance. So I really wasn't sure about this torch having the light and the battery on the front all in one unit. I thought it might be a bit front heavy and a bit uncomfortable. To be fair, I shouldn't have worried. The light with the battery in only weighs 140 grams, so it is a very light unit. Also, Fenix have slightly curved this back plate of the head torch, so it sits very nicely on the front of your head. So all in all, it has been a really comfortable experience running with the HM65R-T, which for me is super important when it comes to a head torch. Over the years, I've had some pretty uncomfortable head torches. You know, if I'm entering a winter's ultra and I'm going to be running all the way through the night, I might have that torch on my head for sort of 12, 13 hours. So it has to sit right, it has to be comfortable. There's enough things to worry about when we're running them kinds of distances. The last thing you want to be doing is worrying about uncomfortable running kit. Next to discuss is build quality. Now, everything about this head torch screams quality. From this ultra lightweight magnesium body, super well engineered, to the top buttons being very solid and feeling like they'd stand up to the test of time. The adjustment on the actual torch itself, the tilt adjustment, it makes this real solid clicking engineered sound as you adjust it. Very satisfying. I would say it's very similar to the first time you sort of get in a high-end motor car, you start playing around with the switches, they all feel very smooth and solid and well engineered, or you grab the door and shut it to a nice weighty thud. This is how this head torch feels when it comes to the build quality. It's drop resistant up to 2 meters, so it should hold up to race day wear and tear, even in the harshest of environments. It has an IP68 protection rating, so it's protected against dust and foreign objects, and you can even submerge it into 2 meters of water for 30 minutes, so all very impressive stuff. To back up the build quality, the torch actually comes with a limited lifetime warranty and 5 years free repair. So Fenix obviously have a lot of faith when it comes to their head torches. Yep, that battery's still going. So last up is performance, and like I said earlier in the review, a lot of head torch manufacturers can be quite misleading with the figures they give out about their products, so I always tend to take them with a pinch of salt. But what I can say about this head torch is this is one bright head torch. Even when I had it set low at 130 lumens, it just seemed very bright. Then when I ran it at medium mode on 400 lumens, it seemed extremely bright for 400 lumens, brighter than any other 400 lumen head torch that I've used. So either this is a very bright head torch, or them head torches that I've used in the past haven't been fully truthful when it comes to their lumens output. When you put that spotlight on max mode of 1300 lumens, it really is bright and you can see so far down the trail. But if you go one step further into that crazy dual power mode of floodlight and spotlight together of 1500 lumens, it's pretty much like running in daylight. This has to be the lightest head torch with this amount of power that I've ever used. I really like the fact the torch has got them two lighting options, so the spotlight and the floodlight. That floodlight giving you a nice 95-degree angle, so great for close-up illumination. But then if you need it, you can just flick that spotlight on. It'll give you that long beam distance, especially on max power, so you can find a way marker or you can find your way out of a field. That spotlight on max power will give you 170 meters beam distance, so perfect for nighttime navigation. Last but definitely not least, when it comes to performance, it is battery life or burn time. Now this is very important for me and it's right up there on the list next to brightness. I'll actually sacrifice a bit of brightness to get a longer burn time on my battery, and I'm currently doing that with my Petzl Neo Plus. So if the HM65R-T lives up to all them claims made by Fenix, it's going to be super impressive indeed. And as you can see, that battery is still going. So that's what I've thought about running in this new head torch from Fenix and what we thought about comfort, build quality and performance. But I'm excited to get some points on the board for this shiny new piece of running tech. So let's get scoring and let's start with the price. The HM65R-T retails in the UK for £105, so not the cheapest head torch in the world, but what I've learned over the years is you really do get what you pay for when it comes to running head torches. So for the level of performance and build quality you get from this torch, it has to score high at Run4Adventure for price. So we're going to give it a really impressive 8 out of 10. Next up is comfort and performance, and it really has been good running in the HM65R-T. Very comfortable with this nice wide, very breathable head strap. It feels good around the head. I love this BOA adjustment system. I think it's a great idea on a head torch. Very easy to adjust that torch on the move on the trails. And then having that slight curve to that back plate is a nice attention to detail, and it really does make a big difference when it comes to comfort. So where do I start when it comes to performance? The first thing, the lights on this torch seem very, very bright. I love the fact that it's got your two lighting options, your spotlight and your floodlight, and it gives you the perfect level of lighting for any situation. I love the simplicity of the head torch. These two buttons to work your way through all the features, very simple to learn how the torch works, but also very simple to navigate through them features while you're out on the trails. And then there's battery life, and with that amount of burn time on 400 lumens, so still a really powerful light, it's going to take you through most winter's nights without having to faff around charging or changing batteries, which is fantastic, and one less thing to worry about on a long training run or on race day. But if you did want to buy a spare rechargeable battery for the torch, they only cost £20. It would have been nice to have a flashing red LED light feature on the back of this head strap. A lot of races are asking for that for mandatory kit nowadays. You can buy little red light clips, so that would fix that issue, so not a big problem there. So the performance of this head torch has been mightily impressive, so it's got to score high, and we're going to give it a top performing 9 out of 10 when it comes to comfort and performance. Last up is durability, and this is one well put together head torch. Every piece of it feels really solid and well engineered. Having that limited lifetime warranty warranty and 5 years free repairs really backs up the quality of this head torch. So I think you'll get years and years of training mileage, race day wear and tear. So it's going to come in with another high score, and we're going to score this head torch for durability a super solid and well put together 9 out of 10. So tallying all them points up for the HM65R-T, it's going to come in with a very impressive score of 26 out of 30. So that is all the performance scoring done, and when it comes down to looks of this new head torch from Fenix, well, it's a head torch. It can only look so good. I think it looks pretty smart, especially this red headband with the high vis detailing. So for the HM65R-T, we're gonna give it a big thumbs up for looks at Run4Adventure. So as you can see, I've been super impressed with the performance of this head torch, and I can see myself getting lots of winter miles in with this on my head, lighting up the trails ahead of me. But let's wrap this review up with a quick conclusion. I personally think if you're in the market for a head torch that can handle every situation, whether it be training mileage on the trails or on the road, or you're looking for a head torch to get you through your first 100-mile ultra marathon, the HM65R-T will handle that all very easily. I've learned over the years, after having lots of head torches and eventually ending up with a Petzl Neo Plus, after buying several cheaper, less powerful head torches, I should have just bought a torch with this kind of performance straight away. You really do get what you pay for when it comes to a running head torch. Yes, there is cheaper models out there, but if you are looking for a head torch that is super bright so that you can move quickly in technical trail areas and feel very confident, or a long battery burn time is at the top of the list of features you want from your head torch, then I definitely recommend checking out Fenix and their new HM65R-T Running Head Torch. So that is a wrap on another review at Run4Adventure. Really hope you enjoyed it, guys, and you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget, give us a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've left a link in the description for the HM65R-T if you want to find out any more information. But get involved as well, guys. Have you used any products from Fenix, whether it be handheld torches, bike lights, or head torches? How did you find it? Were you super impressed with the performance? Let us know in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. We will see you in the next video. And as always, stay safe, keep on running.